DJ Wonder Chrissy here again, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning here in northern Illinois. Got a couple of topics to talk about. Topics today, the news topics today are the ones that hit late Friday, and that's when they try to cover stuff up, folks, is they let stuff out into the media hoping that nobody reads it. So we're going to talk about two topics, but yeah, I'm just getting ready. I had my breakfast for today. I got my coffee cup here. I got my trusty Hooters coffee mug. Oh, I'm getting ready to cut the grass, and I planted flowers yesterday. Got the garden started. Still got a little more work to do on that, but summer is almost here in the Midwest. It's a roller coaster. It gets a little warm, and then a day or two later, we're back down into the 50s. But anyway, let's get going with the news. So the first item, which I'm not sure you guys saw, there was a secret meeting Friday between our friend Janet Yellen and a lot of the higher-ups and the policymakers related to the banking industry. So the Jamie Dimons and maybe the Jerome Powell, probably, Bank of America folks, Wells Fargo, all the major players in the banking industry. Came out also late this week, that Janet Yellen said to expect a few more mergers in the banking industry. Go figure. Our banking system is hobbling and pretty much supported by the government at this point. There's a special program, I think it's called TPP. Not sure exactly what it stands for, but basically the banks are getting cash for their commercial-backed mortgages from the government, because the banks bought this mortgage securities and they got to hold on to them for 10 years, and if they don't, the value of them has plummeted. So they're in a bad spot. So the government is giving them some money short term, and they're also giving the government these securities until at what time they can give them back, and the loan is prepaid. So it's kind of like the government's loaning our banks money at this point, and that program seems to be getting larger and larger. I mean, God, I saw some graphs and it wasn't good. So a lot of the banks, most of the banks are highly dependent on our government at this point to stay afloat. And there's been some analysis out there that says probably 50% of the banks are probably underwater if they didn't have the government to help prop them up. So keep that in mind as you do anything with your finances, because I am not here to give financial advice, but yeah, I would, if you guys wanted to do what I'm doing, I'm buying silver, I'm buying gold, and I'm also storing some cash in secret spots so I can get to it when my ATM doesn't work. Or there also been some stuff in the news about the banks starting to limit access to physical cash in the near future. So look for that one to start gaining more traction in the near future. Okay, so somewhat related, another news article that just hit deals with Chicago. I don't know how much you guys know about Chicago, but there's been a major flight of corporate Fortune 100 companies out of Chicago. Caterpillar left, Tyson left, Boeing left, Citadel Investments, owned by Ken Griffin, left town, went to Miami. And now that they have a new mayor in Chicago who is highly progressive, the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, actually changed their name now. They are no longer called Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They're just the CME. So they got rid of Chicago out of their name. And they sold all their property and have leased it back. So late this week, their CEO issued a statement saying that the CME, we'll call them CME from now on, is in a position where they could leave Chicago at a drop of a hat, and their new leases that they created reflect pretty much, should there be any political shenanigans going on that impact CME directly, they're able to get out of those leases and move. Because what's been proposed by several politicians in the last 10 years is to put in a transaction tax on all CME transactions that occur to raise revenue. So that's kind of unfair, and it's anti-business in my my point of view. But Chicago's in a bad spot. I don't know if you've seen their pensions. Chicago police, fire, and teacher pensions, along with Illinois, the state of Illinois, are not in very good shape. The Chicago ones are probably 25% or less funded, where a good pension plan was probably 80 or greater. The Chicago ones actually are worse now post-pandemic, and part of the money we got from the government, New York, California, and Illinois got billions of dollars during the pandemic as a little, I think it was just given to us. It wasn't even a loan. We didn't have to pay anything back. Illinois got $40 billion. A lot of that money, I suspect, went to prop up the pensions and keep the pension money flowing. I think they were in a world of hurt prior to the pandemic, and I suspect that they're not any better at this point. Obviously, by the funding algorithm there, it's not getting any better. So, there's a lot of financial distress in this state here, I can tell you that. It's terrible what they're doing. It's just like our government. They like to spend and spend and spend and not cut back. Also saw that our state is going to have a price tag of $1 billion to pay for some program to offer or give, no cost involved, give illegal immigrants in the state of Illinois free health care for the next year. They had budgeted $200 million, and someone looked at it again and said, "Hey, that's not going to be enough." So there goes $1 billion of our taxpayer money there, folks, to take care of health care for the illegals, while working people of this state can barely have health care. But that's another topic for another day. So I hope those news reports were eye-opening, informational, and gave you a perspective of what type of stuff happens late on a Friday that most people are too busy getting out of the office or heading out for their lake home or what have you, and do a little vacation. Next week is the holiday, folks, Memorial Day. So, treat those veterans and service people nice. Give them a big thank you for all they do for us and what they have done for us to keep us free, because that's what this country is all about. It's all about freedom. So that's all I have today. Over and out. Got the mug here. Gonna enjoy my coffee, and then I'm cutting the grass. Enjoy, folks.